What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joey. This is Railroad Talk, and this is where I help you become a conductor, or I just help you learn about the railroad through my experiences that I've had over the last 7 years. So if you are interested, be sure and subscribe and like the videos. If you find any value in them, I'd surely do appreciate it. The channel is growing crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump straight to the video about what to expect at Norfolk Southern Training School in McDonough, Georgia. All right, guys, so first things first. What matters most here? Pay. Of course, pay. How much will you be paid while you're at school, while you're training in your own yard? How does this all work? How long will it last? So just full disclaimer here, I'm just going to be telling you what happened with me in 2017. You know, things may have changed a lot since I've been, but it should give you a general idea of how they handle things. And so as far as pay, you're going to be paid $600 every week. At least I was. They pay in 2-week increments. So be warned. You will not receive your first paycheck from Norfolk Southern until you are gone from school, working back in your own yard, considering it's still 3 weeks. They hold you back 2 weeks, so you're going to have to wait a month. So be financially prepared there. But they do pay you $600 a week. It equals out to being about, at least for me when I was claiming single and none, I think I'd bring home like $700 or $800 every 2 weeks. So that was a pay there. As far as food, they give you meal cards to eat. There's restaurants pretty close by from school. A lot of people went here to Da Vinci's, which is like a pretty sweet Italian place. There's another place over here, Graffiti's Pizza. There's a lot of, and there's like a Crystal's or something down the road, if I remember correctly. The Waffle House. I could have swore there was a Crystal's down here. But anyways, oh yeah, here we go, Crystal's. But you can leave to go eat wherever you want to during lunch. I think they give you like an hour or something like that. As far as school, this is the training facility. It does not look like this. I don't know what I think this building is old. Or actually, no, this building's still here, but they built another building here. So whenever you come in, you'll see, I'll show you in just a second. This isn't here. This building's still the same. This building's still the same. All this, of course, is still the same, where they train you and they do your basic switching of rail cars with their RCO, remote control operated locomotive. This is not here anymore either. This is a training ground, which I'm about to show you about. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into this, just so you know where it's at. Thoroughbred Road, 101 Thoroughbred Road, and to correlation to the interstate is going to be 75 right here. And most people should be staying either here on this first exit or the next one up. Right here. So you're going to be just within a few minutes of being at school. Traffic is really bad on this interstate. Do leave early. I'm telling you, do leave early. Now, as far as the training, you'll see these pictures aren't updated, but the new building does show here. So you'll see right. This is the new building here. This is where most of you guys should be going in. You walk through these doors. We was on the training room in the left. It's just a big giant room with a projector, just like a classroom setting. 10 miles per hour speed limit in this parking lot. I saw a guy get fired because he was flying to the parking lot. No joke. True story. Over here is where you'll go to get your radios whenever you go out back to train. And over here is not a parking lot anymore. This is a training ground. It looks a lot like this. Kind of hard to see, but what they do here is it has like a little obstacle course type deal, and they teach you to do several different things. So first is going to be your hang test. You have to hang 45 seconds on each side. I'll grab it on my, standing on a ladder, holding my one arm. Here's a little pro tip for you: do not reach completely parallel. Reach up and grab the next grab iron. It will save your arm. You'll be doing that. You'll be lacing air hoses, glad hands. You'll be replacing glad hand gaskets, air hose gaskets. You'll be tightening down handbrakes, learning how to do handbrakes. You'll be using a handbrake tool. You'll be throwing switches, learning how to throw switches correctly, properly, without hurting yourself. You'll be getting trained to what to look for in the switches, whether it be spikes or debris or any of that craziness. Learning how to climb and cross over rail cars properly because they don't want you falling. And then that's your outside stuff. I think everybody does that once a day. You'll go out there and do this routine over and over and over. And I remember I went to school in September, early October. So it wasn't too cold and it wasn't too hot. But if you go during the summer, I'm going to tell you guys, if you're from up north, it is hot down here. Like in McDonough, it's same as Birmingham, like mid 90s, upper 90s, heat index in the 100s. It is hot. And during the summer, if you're up north, you'll be fine because it stays like in the 30s or 40s down here, so it's not that cold. As far as classroom work, you can expect to learn about FRA brake laws. You'll be going to do transferred brake test, all your brake tests. You'll be learning about hazmat training, what to look for on your placards, how to identify them. You'll be given a little book. So you're going to be given a stack of books. Look something like this. Don't be too intimidated. They don't expect you to know all that crap. There's no way. You can learn all this in 3 weeks. So for the most part, they're going to give you probably your NS1. This is the one they had in 2019. So you'll probably get something else like this. This is rules for equipment operation and handling. This is for engineers, but this is for you to have in case, because it's a conductor's responsibility, or at least somebody on the engine to have their all their required books with them at all times in case something happens. This is a big one, operating rules. You'll probably get one of these. It's 2019 also. Hazmat training. You'll have one of these, of course, too. Safety and general conduct rules. You'll have one of those also. And this is all the old stuff. This is what the old ones used to look like. Hazardous material training. I can go to one that is so important, and this is the little book I was talking about. If you watched my Safe Freight Act video on why it's so important, this little bitty book right here, this says 2016, so I'm sure you guys will get a new one. This is 4 years old. But this is materials. All these are chemicals and materials that we haul, or I used to haul. These are materials that you guys will be carrying, and if there's a derailment and a spill, it tells you exactly who to call. It tells you how many people need to be evacuated if the wind's blowing, all that stuff. And this is a very, very important book to have. Brake slips. You'll be learning about that stuff. Brake slips, how to do brake tests. There's different kinds of brake tests, and I've also heard the FRA law has updated that brake test. And a train does not need to be brake tested unless it is off air for 24 hours. That is great because it was 4 hours for us. You'll go over your brake tests. You'll go over your basic switching maneuvers in the classroom before you ever go outside and start switching with an instructor. You'll go over, safety rules that they have, goofy safety rules that Norfolk Southern has, which, they're there for a reason, even if I don't agree with them. But, so in the classroom, it's pretty straightforward. They're going to teach you everything that you need to know to take the test. Now, when I was there, the test was 80% or better was passing. If you failed, you had one chance to retake the test that day and pass, or you were fired. You have 5 tests total. In week 1, you have a test at the end of week 1. You have 2 tests at the end of week 2, which is going to be a test over the last 2 weeks. And then you're going to have your hazmat training, so that's 3. Then you're going to have your final test at the end of week 3, which is going to be going over everything, which all have to be 80 or above, if I remember correctly. Even your hazmat has to be 80 or above. Then you have your signals test, which is 5. And you have to score 100. Now, I've been talking to a lot of guys that got hired, and they're going to school in March. They're on Conrail signals, and I've urged them to start looking at their signals now. So if you're up north, or you know what signals you're on, if you're on Conrail, I would start studying them now. I wouldn't go head on and just study, but I would at least start looking at them, getting familiar with the signals at least. As far as outside training, they're going to teach you how to do proper 3-step, how to properly cut in air on an actual locomotive and a rail car. They're going to teach you how to tie down the handbrakes properly with a live locomotive. You're going to learn how to count down cars. You're going to ride. You're going to ride the cars. You're going to ride the shove and do a safety stop, get off, and then couple up. And just if you're curious, a safety stop is your 5 cars, do a couple, stop, and then 4. Right? They'll say that engineer knows what you're talking about. So coupling rail cars is all subjective. Is how you want to do it. This is how I did it. If I was standing on the ground, you have to stand at the couple, and I'm looking this way. I say, all right, train whatever, or whoever the engineer is, Egg, which is one of the guys I used to work with. Like, all right, you got 5 cars to a couple. Like, all right, 5 cars. And he'll start, boom, here we go. Moving backwards. I'm like, all right, 4 cars. He'll say 4. And I'll say 3 cars. He'll say 3. I'll say 2 cars. You'll say 2. I'll say 1, half, 20, 10, 5. That'll do. Now, but that all depends on how fast he's going. So if he's coming in hot, I'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half. That'll do. If he's coming in slow, I'll count him down. 20 feet, 10, 5. That'll do. Now, I've had both. I've had some engineers where I've even said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll do because they're coming in real hot. I've even said that'll do at 2 cars. And sometimes they get away from the engineers a little bit. So they teach you how to do 3-step switching, your basic switching maneuvers. They're gonna give you a piece of paper, probably telling you, hey, we need to pull this car out. How are you gonna do this? And they're gonna teach you how to, or try to train your mindset of how to get the car out in the least amount of moves, because the least amount of moves equals more safety, less fuel wear and tear on the engines, less possibility for you to derail a car, all that good stuff, right? And other than that, that's really about it. You're going to go over communication skills, or hollering at the tower if you need to, throw a switch or whatever, you need permission. Anyway, so as far as school, that's what you have to look forward to. Like I said, $600 a week. They'll give you meal cards. They're going to pay for your hotel. They will pay for your mileage if you drive, and they will pay for you to go home one time in the 3 weeks, and they'll pay for your mileage. I would advise you to do it. It's free money laying there, unless you're just scared your car won't make it. But if you live close to the Southeast, I would say drive home and get your money, because it's like 40-something cents a mile. It's a pretty good little lick for you just to drive. So, but anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope you guys do great in school. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. You can find me on Facebook on the Norfolk Southern Training School training Facebook page. I'm always on there. You can send me an email. All that stuff will be linked in the description below. And be sure and subscribe and like the channel, or like the videos. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm about to turn right back around and record another one after this. So I will see you guys next week.